laugh, I have very good bone structure, and I scored high on the talent and bathing suit portion.
The Naked Brothers Band is one of the most unique Nickelodeon shows in complete history. Why? Because it essentially was shot like a home movie, directed, produced, and written by Nat and Alex Wolf's mom. Which means things happen on this show that can't happen on any other show that's been on TV. We went over the first season, which was a lot of fun, but the second season has a lot of crazy stories attached to it. It's not just a normal season of television. For the first time, we actually see these 10 and 12-year-olds go on tour on a bus to a bunch of different cities. That, but they have some episodes that straightforward don't do anything for the plot, with others actually talking about dating 3 people at once. These guys, there's nothing like the Naked Brothers Band.
It is true. It's confirmed. That slurps his soup.
And stick around because the season finale actually has the brothers getting canceled. Yeah, they get canceled by the end of the season, so everything it's leading up to is pretty intense. So sit down and relax. If you don't know the Naked Brothers Band, you guys are in for a treat. If you haven't already, check out my season 1 retrospective before you jump into this. But let's get started on these 13, 15 episodes, whatever you'll call them.
Nat said that I could boss you guys around. He said.
Alex, I know he didn't say that.
I know he didn't say that, sir.
Okay, so the second season starts off on a pretty bittersweet note for me. More so bitter, honestly.
I'm 9. You can't expect me to remember back that far.
It's a 2-part episode called Sidekicks, and at first I was like super excited to jump into season 2. Like, Naked Brothers Band season 1 shocked me, cool. Now let's see what they have to offer. And oh my god, the first full like 4 minutes of this episode is Nat and Alex introducing what's about to happen, and it goes on for so long.
Let's try again. Oh, it's working! I all of a sudden feel so fasted! It's working, Nat! I feel it!
I get it, it's a flashback, but this part is just way too long. Turns out the event of these episodes are going to be 3 months prior, so okay, keep that in mind, it's important. This whole special is about going to prom or the masquerade party, 2 events happening on the same night, conveniently. And this episode does what the classic Naked Brothers Band does a lot, and it's Nat Wolff struggling with masculinity. Woo! It's at least like a very accurate representation of like being his age. Because he starts out being very bitter that Rosalina is in high school and he's in middle school, and likes to remind everybody that constantly, which is kind of a insuperiority complex issue.
That's my poster. And you two just go away. I don't want to be seen talking to middle schoolers. You do not leave.
Let's get out of here. We gotta stay.
Surprisingly comes up way too much in this episode. It even leads to the main issues that happen. It is funny though, the entire season starts off with the band having a guru. Cooper, who is the manager, is like translating what this guru is saying.
Wing feels that the heart and the soul need to converge with the waves and the shore in order for the song to take flight.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
It means this song needs dancing girls.
It's funny because it's like you wouldn't have anybody like this on your staff unless you were like overly rich. I bet even adults wouldn't understand what this guy's saying, so the fact that kids are like talking to him is so funny. It's like, this guy should be their babysitter. His name is Wing, which, oh, okay, and he comes back more than once, but let's not focus on Wing too much.
Wing hire Jessie as dancing girl. But Wing want more Jessie.
And he's a little too creepy to Jessie, saying that she should be more involved in the band and dancing everywhere, which makes me uncomfortable. We learned that apparently she has 2 other sisters that we just never knew about, and they all dress the same.
I didn't know you had sisters.
Of course I do, silly. Everyone has sisters.
No, they don't.
Okay, this is getting a little too cartoony for me. So Nat and Alex are trying to figure out what superheroes they're gonna be for the masquerade party, and the reason it's called Sidekicks is because they inevitably end up all being sidekicks instead of superheroes, and that's kind of the common metaphor throughout the episode, which is kind of clever, especially with the side tangent of Nat feeling like he is not in high school.
But speaking of prom, Rosalini, you want to go with me?
You want to go to the prom with her. But I'm the most popular freshman in the class. You should go with her.
I'm busy anyway, but thanks.
Too busy for high school prom.
Nat is insistent that Rosalina is going to want to go to prom instead of going to the masquerade party with the band, which is supposed to be a nice thing. Like, he insists that this is, like, what she wants. And even though she tells him directly, like, hey, like, I would rather go to the masquerade ball, prom does not seem super fun. Yeah, Nat kind of disrespects her wishes because she's asked to prom, and he's like, no, she should go.
I mean, you can play the song at our party and then go to the prom.
What are you doing?
Don't know.
I don't know.
All right, cool. So I'll pick you up at 6.
And even though she says no, like, twice, Nat still insists she should go. And she just gives in at a certain point, which is not cool. That is, like, not consensual. And surprise, surprise, there's this really popular girl that's in Rosalina's high school that apparently was in one of their music videos and got too excited about it. Like, she got cut from the video, but is still advertising all across school that she's gonna be in it. And it's so petty of her. I, like, feel bad for this character. There's, like, no substance to her. I don't think anybody is this brainlessly popular. But she's a good actress. She really makes me believe that she's doing it good.
You can be my date to the prom without being the most popular senior in Amigos High School.
No thanks.
No thanks? It's not up to you. It's my decision, and I've decided that you're going to prom with me.
Why is it your decision?
The fallout of Rosalina and Nat is pretty apparent because he is just so insistent that she wants this. Such a toxic masculine thing to do. Meanwhile, Wing makes everybody in the band sit down and meditate, which is so random. How are you gonna get a bunch of kids to meditate? Oh, the Timberland brothers come back.
They're not her sisters. They're adorable Timmerman brothers.
Don't tell Wayne.
You don't remember them from the first season? They're like this boy group that are pretty inferior to the Naked Brothers band, but still insist on being brought along. Jessie has like a soft spot in her heart for them, so she tries to get them to join them on everything. So I don't know, I just feel bad for them all around. Can you imagine, like, just begging these kids to be on your tour? Nat approaches Rosalina only to find out that she is not happy that she has to go to prom, even though Nat insists everybody wants to go to prom. It's like, come on, Nat, at least just listen to her for like 2 seconds. So they're at odds with each other throughout this, which I think is completely fair. I honestly think Nat should just give up and apologize a lot quicker, but he seems to be like teetering the line the entire time with her.
Hey, what's up, man?
Wake up, Wing! We need your hearts no matter if someone doesn't think it's very important. Get your instruments!
The episode ends with Nat being told he's going to have to go to prom with the popular girl. So they're both going to end up going to prom and both go to the masquerade party, so it's kind of complicated for both of them. Weird way to end the first part of this 2-part episode, but at least it's a cliffhanger and it doesn't start the way the last episode started.
Working, Nat! I feel it! I feel it!
Part 2 is surprisingly really funny. It starts with the principal of the high school, and he's like promoting this graffiti that's on the wall, because he's like, this is a part of our legacy, and it's just because he went to high school at this time, and he's like super into it, which is so funny. And it ends up being a part of the plot later, so it's not random.
See what they wrote about me back then? Put in Joe Schmoke and watch the other team croak.
Kasim has like a C or D plot. I don't know. He just basically asked 4 girls to prom, to the masquerade ball, and apparently they all said yes, so he's kind of screwed, and they're like chasing him throughout this episode.
Have you guys seen Kasim? What? Yeah, he's just taking a moment to think.
Where? Right back here. Why'd you tell him I was here?
You said you were in hiding.
Which is so funny. At least it's not just Nat running around. Meanwhile, Rosalina is talking to the new guy that's going to be taking her to the prom, and they don't even get along that well. I don't know why she's going with him. Oh wait, I do know why, because Nat insisted. And this guy is just so clueless, he's just so focused on the highlights in his hair. Meanwhile, Nat questions why he even has to go to prom with this popular girl, and she's like, because it doesn't matter that you're in middle school because you're a rock star. And it's like, why can't he see that about himself and not be so insecure about being in middle school versus Rosalina?
You know, if you weren't famous, I would never speak to you again. Promise?
They get their costumes ready for the masquerade party, and it's a really cute sequence of everybody just hanging out around the house. And I kind of like the way they just vibe around. It definitely is very 2000s of them to skateboard throughout the house. Nat is trying on this new suit, which is very clearly owned by his dad's, and it's just so funny. When Nat picks up his date, of course she has to acknowledge that the cameras are there, which is so funny. I can't believe that it's just normal Nat walks around with this adult camera crew everywhere. And then later we find out that Thomas and David actually erased the graffiti off the wall as an act of graffiti itself. Like, that's apparently the law-breaking thing they do. And this actually comes back to bite them, so it's not like they're doing anything good. Everybody's dressed in their sidekick costumes, and I don't know, I feel like we kind of dropped that theme, honestly. Rosalina finally goes out with the guy.
My dad wanted to take pictures. It's like my first prom and all.
Pictures.
And apparently, Nat and Alex's dad is the entertainment at the masquerade dance, which is kind of crazy. Cooper is still going out with this girl from the first season. She basically is a manager for another band, and the two, like, hit it off, which is so funny because, of course, they're, like, just both businessy. Meanwhile, Jessie and her two sisters are trying to figure out who's gonna dance with the Timberland brothers, and this is not even a plot. It just kind of is a quick conversation. We never even go anywhere with her sisters. Like, it's confusing to me. The popular girl is actually planning on premiering the Naked Brothers Band music video at the prom, which I do not think is possible. I can't believe the prom committee would just let that happen, but whatever.
I always tell her, make them golden, because I'm the golden boy.
Nat and Rosalina seem to leave the past behind them and start making up already, until everybody's interrupted by the principal stopping everything. Yeah, the whole festivities are canceled until they figure out who erased the graffiti.
The graffiti in the boys' bathroom has been erased. We will stop all festivities.
And it's so funny that it's treated like a true crime. He calls it an egregious act of destruction, which I think is pulling the trigger a little bit too much. But he insists everybody stops dancing, having a good time, and everybody's backpacks are checked, which I don't know why they would bring their backpacks to a dance, but whatever. Yeah, so Thomas and David are pretty screwed here, and they're hiding in the balcony the whole time. Meanwhile, they're gonna be caught any minute. Rosalina and Nat finally make up, and he gives her this corsage that he got for the popular girl, but he didn't end up giving to her. Later, they end up releasing the music video, and it turns out this girl, Patrice, re-edited the entire video to add scenes with her in it, and that is so funny. I don't know why I love this character already.
Long-distance relationships will kill you. They'll kill you, baby!
The fact that she has the gall to put herself in the video and then also stand on stage alongside it and sing along, this is crossing a line. So Nat and Rosalina get ready for their own party, both dressing up as sidekicks, and she dresses up as the sidekick to the sidekick. I don't know. They both go to perform I Don't Want to Go to School at the masquerade ball, which is nice because that's actually where they ended up wanting to be. Of course, the principal helps them rewrite the graffiti from earlier, and that's just such a ridiculous side plot that I can't believe they incorporated. All around, everybody at the prom ends up going to the middle school dance instead, which I do not believe for one second that they would think this was cool enough to go to. Of course, the episode ends very positively. I just don't know how to feel about it because it's like such a crazy plot. But at least it makes up for the very beginning where they're just talking to us for 3 minutes. That just bothers me so much.
3 months ago.
And the next episode actually had a huge issue on Paramount Plus that I didn't pick up on until now. It's episode 3, Great Trip. And honestly, this plot has like zero substance. But it is weird that they have the opening where Nat, Alex, and Jessie are talking about this competition that the winner gets to go to this great water park. And they are determined to win. So they're charging through dog food until they win this prize. Meanwhile, Alex actually plans to want to be the next in line to take care of the band while Nat's gone, which is so funny.
What about me? Will you make me your assistant, Alex?
Wait, when?
When you die.
So yeah, they play the opening theme song, and then they do the entire first scene again. And I double-checked, this entire scene is done twice. The episode is 25 minutes when it should be 20. I can't believe how they repeated a scene and nobody noticed it. If you guys are working for Paramount Plus, please tell them now. And then the theme song plays a second time. Okay, 2 cold opens. I guess I didn't get it the first time.
Chatter, 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 chatterbox. Chatter, 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 chatterbox.
They sing Chatterbox, which is the first time you're hearing this song. I forgot about this one, but it's so funny. They have the Mona Lisa with her lips carved out. That's kind of disgusting. I don't know why they're doing that. Turns out David won this whole competition, and his whole issue is that he's too lucky, okay?
I don't know if anybody knows this about me, but I'm freakishly lucky. I mean, I was just feeding E.T. I didn't even know there was a trip, and then I almost threw the can away, and then there's this red top.
Everybody is getting really jealous, though, because he could only take one person. So everybody is trying to suck up to David, which is so funny. This character has, like, never had an episode before this, so it's so hard to, like, figure out what his deal is. I guess it's just he's too lucky all the time. This actually pushes everybody against each other and start to fight about who's the better friend to him, which is so crazy. It's like, we didn't even know this guy before, and now everybody's competing for him.
I was born in the same hospital as
We
you.
were born in the same month. We got chickenpox at the same time.
I taught him how to dance. I like corn dogs the best.
No, you don't.
He has like a formal announcement with all the bandmates and fake cardboard cutouts to make it look like it's a huge group of people, which is so disturbing to me, honestly. It's kind of funny though. And he announces that he's going to take Nat because everybody else has something that bothers him. Okay, very, very childlike behavior.
Rosalina, I'm afraid I had to cross you off the list immediately because you're a girl, and I'd be embarrassed to do anything gross in front of you.
They end up breaking the cardboard cutouts by the end, which is actually so funny. At first, Alex is bitter that he can't go, and Nat reminds him that he's in charge of the band now, and it's like, oh no. So Alex gets mad with power. And he actually gets like a full dictator suit with Jessie backing him up. And I can't believe as an adult, she's like condoning all of this authority. I don't get what she has to gain by doing this.
Lady Jessie? Really? That's so cool.
Yeah, and then Nat's plot is barely a plot. It's just him and David enjoying this giant water park. Since this is like a family film show, I can't help but wonder if they just wanted to go to a water park and then got extra shots while they were there, because it's like, what is this? So the rest of the band is really upset that Alex is in charge, and they start getting ridiculed for being like a second late, and it's just, it's not looking good for them.
Never to speak Nat's name again in this band. He has been robbed out of the history books.
The only thing that happens on Nat's side of the plot is that David pushes the dad down the water slide, but it doesn't really introduce any conflict, so it's just something that happens. I'm confused why they're dodging a script at this point. But I don't really get frustrated until they're sitting alone in the rafts and David explains why he's so lucky.
Yeah. Remember those standardized tests they made us take in school?
Yeah, hard to forget torture, right?
Well, I kinda... What? I kinda got a perfect score on them.
And it doesn't really add any conflict or plot. Like, it's just him saying how lucky he is. Apparently, he 100%ed a test and didn't even study. Like, I don't even know what this guy's deal is anymore. He's become more of a mystery to me since this episode than ever before. And the song and montage in this just have, like, no substance. It's them singing about, like, a great trip. Great trip. Meanwhile, Alex is a dictator, so it doesn't even feel like thematically cohesive here. The way the Alex plot is resolved is all the bandmates take a microphone and make it look like Lucky the dog is talking to him, and he falls for it. I don't know how that's a solution or makes anything better. It's just a funny thing that happens, I guess. In the end, Nat and David come back, and it turns out to be a secret. He's like, don't you think you're not just lucky but smart? And David's like, yeah, but I'm gonna not tell people I'm smart so I can get away with this. And it's like, wait, what? Is that the end? And Alex is like, don't let me be in charge again because I'm too power hungry, which is kind of a funny way to end. This whole episode just feels like kind of a waste of time to me. I don't see it progressing anything. All the characters kind of upstage each other. Like, it feels like a full group episode where you can't really tell who it's following, but, you know, not a complete waste of time. I don't even know what I'm saying. Just don't watch this episode, guys. Okay, then we got the weirdest episode of this show I probably ever seen. It's called 3 is Enough, which is referencing a lyric from their song, like, 1 is fine, in reference to how many girls Nat gets. Honestly, I can't explain another way. The cold open is funny, but kind of random. Alex basically asks Nat to do the arm around the shoulder thing, and then tries to get him to woo him, which is so funny.
We're pretending like we're at a movie, and I'd like some popcorn before the movie starts.
You mean I have to get you real popcorn?
Yes, please.
Low-key, this has a lot to do with Alex's love life because he likes Juanita, he likes his babysitter Jesse, he's just a player all around. And a good dancer in this. I never realized how good he is, look.
Wonder what I do without you.
There's this animator that keeps showing up, which is so funny because obviously this is Nickelodeon, but like, how did they put this in? So this old man just sketches things and just happens to have a desk like wherever the boys are. I don't even know what he has to offer this whole crew.
What are you drawing?
I'm drawing you as a chicken because you're annoying me.
Alex reveals that his true love of his life is named Melody, and she's the only one he hasn't met yet, so he's kind of looking out for her. Cooper has a plot line too, which is also about love, where he wants to ask out that girl, which I thought they were already together, but I guess they're not. So this brings up a conversation of why Nat hasn't asked Rosalina on a date yet they've been like in love for so long, and it's kind of a good point. Nat's just like, I'm too young, and it's like, no you're not, dude, you definitely would.
Please ask Rosalina.
Ask me what?
It's also implied that Jessie is going out with all 3 Timberland brothers because she's like, wow, 3 is the perfect amount of everything, and she likes each of them for different reasons. Like, one's the faster texter, one's more attractive, and it's just like everybody objectifying each other, I guess? Jessie's whole plot is that somebody random shows up to ask her on a date, and since it's a 4th person, that's where she draws the line, and I don't know, it's kind of crazy. She tests this out to see if it would actually work.
Okay?
Wow, listen to that. You just said okay, like perfectly, like no accent at all.
I don't know why this show is so pro polyamory. Like, everybody's in a relationship with like 3 people. I can't even believe this. Cooper's next issue with his date is so cute. It's like he can only go within 5 blocks of his house because his mom said so. So he's trying to work out the date in that way. Which just reminds you how young they are and their actual limitations. Like, I love that they take it so seriously.
And I can't take her anywhere but the dry cleaners in the Korean market.
Why?
Because my mom said I'm only allowed to walk in a 5-block radius of our apartment.
So Cooper asks Nat to go with him, so they do like a double date, so Rosalina can actually make his radius bigger so they can go out. I don't know, it's kind of a funny concept, but obviously Nat is flustered. He doesn't know how to, like, ask her out. So she comes in and is like, why don't you want to go out with me? And then we got a good point. Nat's nervous about the date, and Alex points out that this is so obvious and he's in denial for wanting this date, and he needs to just get over it, which actually calls back to the cold open where he was showing him how to do the arm around the shoulder thing, and he's like, Nat, this is totally just for you. Which is true, Nat, like, stop being so in denial. I feel like that's his character's biggest flaw, and I never realized how often it comes up. So we're all getting ready for the date. Rosalina suggests they go to a scary movie, and that just so happens to be where Jessie is taking her 4 dates with her. Oh my gosh, this is so complicated. So everybody's essentially going to the same place to have a similar date, but all with different people.
So, where do you stand on the subject of dating?
I'm 9. I don't have a stand.
Whew, 3 is definitely not enough. This is too many. The Timberland brothers, Alex and Juanita, all go to the movies just to spy on everybody else. Meanwhile, the other 3 bandmates all spy on all of them, which is crazy. I feel like this entire theater is taken up by only the Naked Brothers band tickets. Like, this is crazy amount of people. Cooper gets nervous and actually spills all his stuff on the girl, and it's like, she doesn't even mind. Okay, cool, so you know this is gonna work out. Rosalina and this girl have a little moment to talk, and that's sweet too. I like that everybody's nervous about this. Meanwhile, the dad's also there on a date with Betty. Oh my gosh, this is never ending.
Alex?
No, I just look like him. Everyone thinks that.
Oh, sorry. I could have sworn you were my son.
There's a constant discussion of the girls purposely hiding into the guys to get closer to them, and since it's a horror movie, it works for everybody, and it's kind of cute, like, seeing them all attempt it. But then the Timberland brothers are just throwing popcorn at their date and pouring their drink to ruin Jessie's date, which actually works. There's no repercussions to this at all, so that date is just ruined. Meanwhile, Cooper and his girl are finally going out, and aw, that's sweet. And Alex actually meets who he thinks is his dream girl, which turns out to be this animator's daughter, so I guess he does kind of have a purpose? Yeah, okay, whatever. This episode all around is just fun to have, like, everybody on a date, seeing how the characters react to one another, and I'm totally down for it. I feel like it was better than the Great Trip episode all around. So what's supposed to be episode 5 is actually kind of a huge mystery, and maybe nobody's looked this up because nobody's cared to get it like exactly correct. But yeah, this is interesting to me because everywhere the 5th episode is listed as an episode called The Talk Show. But the episode The Talk Show isn't on Paramount Plus. It's replaced with this cartoon episode called the Supertastic Six. Upon trying to find the talk show episode, I learned that it isn't on anywhere, even on Amazon Prime Video. It's apparently not allowing me to even download this episode. Like, you can't buy it, you can't purchase it. I wonder if it's even, like, on the DVD. The closest thing I could find to figuring out what goes on in this, it reads as followed. When Nat and Alex are asked to fill in as guest hosts for a popular music talk show, they're excited to find out that they're interviewing Joel Madden of Good Charlotte. That is until Alex finds out that Joel Madden was flirting with Jessie at the Kids' Choice Awards and refuses to do the interview. LOL, that's actually so funny. And yeah, I guess I can't really find any proof that this actually exists, so if anybody online has heard of this episode, has any memories of it, I can only assume because of the Good Charlotte references, maybe there's songs in there that are licensed that they can't use. I'm just so confused of why this is so hard to find. I would find some clips on YouTube, and that's kind of what's playing right now, but it's hard elsewise to dig this up. If anybody in the comments knows anything about this, please let me know, because this is a great mystery.
We want other guys to keep their hands off our girls.
No, you got it wrong. Joel Madden is the bad guy in this song. The other guys want him to keep his hands off their girls.
Joel Madden is putting his hands on their girls when they're not looking?
Okay, so I actually found the talk show episode. This is kind of insane. Like, thank God I found this. It was from the DVD release, and I can't believe this still exists somewhere. So, yeah, it's a really funny episode. I mean, hearing the people trash talk Nat Wolff is kind of not fair, but the fact that the dad, Sonny, and Betty have a podcast is ridiculous. In this episode, the shaman is also featured in one of the music videos with the backup dancers, which I was not expecting. That's so random. So Nat wants to cut Banana Smoothie from the set list, which really bothers everybody because it's one of the best numbers they sing. Okay, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, seeing Nat go crazy over this one reviewer is definitely relevant to the community. I feel like it sets me up for what I expect the show to be about.
Sam Lee!
Sam Lee?
Sam Lee, the music critic from Podunk Press?
Nat, don't do it, man. Don't interview him.
Wait, he trashed you too?
I mean, he put a hate on my music, that's one thing, but he put a hate on my mom.
He put a hate on your...
My mom.
He put a hate on your moms?
My mama.
And I have to interview a guy who put a hate on his moms?
The guy from Good Charlotte's in this, which is such a crazy throwback. I wonder if they saw each other in real life now. That would be insane. But apparently Nat and this guy have that in common, is that they got a bad review from the same reviewer, which turns out to be a little child. LOL. Yeah, so the little child gets interviewed, and it's honestly so cute. So Nat and Alex try to interview her in return. And Alex actually gets super disrespectful in this episode, like asking the reviewer to play a song just like they do, just to like get a feeling of what it's like to be judged, which is a little too dark too quickly, Nat.
You heard me. Mean. What do you mean, mean? What do you mean, what do I mean, mean? Mean. Every review you've done has been mean about music.
That doesn't make me mean. That makes me discriminating. His song, Banana Smoothie, for example.
See, they like it.
Well, of course they like it, since they have no taste.
Yeah, but the whole crowd is on their side, so it almost feels like bullying a little bit. The guy from Good Charlotte ends up playing with them, which is actually really cool, and they even have this whole reviewer sit there throughout the whole show, and she ends up liking the song a lot better than she thought, and meanwhile, Sonny and Betty were just trying to break into the studio, and now are getting out. I just want them to break up already, honestly. So the guy from Good Charlotte, Nat, and Alex all end up talking to each other on set, and yeah, it's actually a really sweet ending. What they replaced the episode with is episode 5, Supertastic 6, and this is a fully cartoon animated episode, which I didn't even realize the Naked Brothers Band did. I learned later that this show was inevitably ending or canceled because of way this impacted the kids going to school, just since the mom was the director and writer, and like this must have been a lot on that family, so that's why it kind of had to end. And I have a feeling this is like one of those placeholder episodes. There's a couple episodes in this season that I'm going to straightforward skip because they're clip shows, like either a full concert band, which takes up 2 episodes, or bloopers. Like, they just, like, essentially cheesed, like, 3 of the episodes in this season. And so it says they're 15, but really there's 12 that we're actually going over. And then, obviously, the missing one. The Supertastic 6 episode was actually a special and not originally counted as an episode, but now since everybody's trying to get rid of the talent show episode, it seems like executives or whatever at Nickelodeon keep inserting the Supertastic 6 as episode number 5, so nobody realizes that it's missing. A very interesting piece of lore of the Naked Brothers that I was not expecting. So this episode starts out with Alex and Nat getting a bunch of fan letters, and this one person is like, I can't watch your show because it's not a cartoon. My mom only lets me watch cartoons. So they're like, okay, let's do a cartoon episode. And okay, I guess that's enough for me.
Now this is real music. Matt Pinfield's private blend of jazz and funk.
Oh, this is horrible.
It's a really cool animated episode, like really good for the time, honestly. Like, it's a little bit of a blend of 2D and 3D animation, seeing like Bryant Park, all the main locations, and a lot more cinematic views of things. We actually can see a huge crowd and the Naked Brothers performing in front of them, and it makes it a lot more accurate. I think the animation here is a little bit better than it was in the episode Fishing for Love, if you guys can remember that sequence. And all the characters look pretty accurate, except for Nat. Nat looks so weird, and I cannot get over it. And it's essentially the bald guy that keeps showing, that showed up at the Battle of the Bands at the first episode. It's like the critic. He ends up hijacking the performance. It turns out to make everybody miserable and rips off their hair and fur. Okay, kind of a crazy situation.
Is anything growing back yet?
I don't see anything, but don't worry, I know what to do.
So Alex decides to redraw hair back on his dad's head, and oh my god, Jessie looks so weird in animation, like they did her wrong here. So Nat ends up playing the piano, which leads to a secret super station where all the friends are superheroes, and it works perfectly because it's a cartoon. Obviously, they went out of their way to make this ridiculous, and of course, Cooper is just the businessman costume.
And businessman!
Is this important? I really need to take this.
Rosalina wants to be a part of the crew, but nobody lets her because she's a girl. And I can't believe these sex fights keep coming back up. Like, we don't have to do things based on gender. And even all the boys vote her out, which, Nat, you should stand up for her a little more. He just doesn't do that.
Rosalina, wait! Let her go, Nat.
So yeah, they're ready to take down this evil guy, with Cooper giving everybody merch weapons, yeah, to actually take them down with merch, and they even has their CD. It's kind of cool. So later, they're playing jazz all throughout the neighborhood, causing chaos, I guess. Jessie is not supposed to know they're all superheroes, so they say they're gonna wipe her memory later, and that's kind of a funny bit.
She's the only one old enough to drive.
Yeah, but now she knows all of our secrets.
Don't worry about that. Check this out. When this is over, we'll pop these on her and she'll have no idea what happened.
Okay, I can totally hear you.
Doesn't matter.
Meanwhile, Nat and Alex head to space of all places to find where all the jazz is coming from. Once they finally land on the villain's ship, they start attacking, only to come face to face with this bald guy. So everybody else is trying to find Mr. Wolf because apparently they're going to do something to him, which I find is really fun. Like, he's like actually the heroine in danger. Like, everybody else has to get him. So he ties up Alex and Nat, and they're essentially screwed. They force Nat and Alex to play in a jazz band, which is so funny that that's the thing. I feel like that should definitely be in the live-action version. I would love that. There's not a lot of plot in this episode. It's just villain trying to do one specific thing and everybody trying to stop him. It doesn't really get super interesting. It's just more action, which makes sense. It's a cartoon episode, so fine. Rosalina comes to save the day, which kind of makes me feel bad for her because everybody kind of ditched her. We see a spot of aliens on other planets, which gets really ridiculous, and they all team up to take down this bald guy, which, oh, cool. And yeah, we get a nice little animation sequence for the end, and this episode's actually a lot shorter than the usual episodes, but it is funny that they did something so special like this. The Bar Mitzvah episode is actually pretty funny, season 2, episode 6, and it actually follows Cooper, the band's manager, and he's explaining to us what a Bar Mitzvah is. You know, it's a Jewish tradition where the boy becomes a man, and it's like they speak from the Torah. It's just such a cool tradition.
Whoa, dude, you're getting his nose all wrong. It should be more like...
He gets an ice sculpture made out of him, which I don't think is tradition at all. Actually, this just seems like rich kid stuff. But yeah, it's just funny that it's happening. The B-plot is pretty prominent in this one, so Alex realizes that this pro skateboarder kid has the same mole on his face that he does, and the two really bond over wanting to try each other's occupations.
Why would you want to be a rock star? I mean, what you do is so much cooler. You get to live on the edge of danger, do awesome tricks.
You rock out and hang with all the cool musicians.
They just talk about how they want to do the parent trap, but there's no parents involved, so I don't even understand what the point of switching spots like this is. This shaman meditation guy is back again, like they're rehearsing and he is still in charge of the sessions, which makes me think he's taking the role of the director from the first season, where he's like the adult professional on set, but doesn't really know what he's talking about. Oh, but then the director does come back for this episode too. He's making the documentary for Cooper's Bar Mitzvah.
Actions, Alex! You have nothing to say about the boy man who dedicates his life to Naked Brothers?
Say something.
Ow!
I didn't realize they did documentaries for bat mitzvahs, but okay. So yeah, Cooper talks to the rest of the group about not mentioning any bad things he's done in the documentary, which is so funny because it's like he's like the most responsible character, so I don't know why he's like the most concerned about all this. So the director ends up kicking Cooper out of his own video, which is actually so funny to me. I can't believe they're doing that.
Get off the film!
But I hired you.
Yeah, this is a closed set. Get out.
Alex and Mitchie already switched spots, but Mitchie realizes that he has to meet Tony Hawk, which I was not expecting a guest appearance in this episode, considering it has so little to do with the plot. So yeah, I guess Alex is going to meet Tony Hawk now. That's not random, I guess. So Mitchie, as Alex, is gonna go to the bar mitzvah, and apparently there's a lot of girls, and that's the big highlighted point. Nat is loopy off some dental drugs, so he's acting really weird, like almost sniffing out that Alex and Mitchie switched places, but more so just being a lunatic.
I love your eyes.
Thanks.
Can I touch them?
No, get out of here. You're gonna poke me in the eye.
So later at the bar mitzvah, they end up playing the video, and it turns out Nat literally outs Cooper for like so many bad things he's done. I mean, but he wasn't there when Cooper told them that they shouldn't say anything, so I guess it's not his fault? I don't know. But yeah, Nat just outs him.
Why didn't somebody stop me?
Oh, we tried.
Hey, Koopy, do you remember when you fed popcorn to your sister's turtle?
You were the one who killed Turtellini?
This turns the entire party into chaos, nearly getting Cooper killed by his sister and family. I didn't realize it took such a negative turn, and Nat should feel bad about this because this is a little too intense. Then we go back to Alex, who doesn't actually know how to skateboard, but he does know how to trash talk. So when he sees Tony Hawk, he just essentially trashes him over and over again. He does not know what to say.
Well, everybody knows the wolf eats Hawk.
Who's Wolf?
I mean, paper beats rock.
Oh yeah, well, scissors cuts paper.
And are these even impressive lines? I don't even think so. Luckily, Cooper has an idea. The only way that this entire party is going to be fixed is if the Naked Brothers can perform. So Nat goes to Alex, only to find out that it might not even be him. And so they have to start performing in front of the whole place, which actually stresses Mitchie out a lot because he doesn't actually know how to play drums. So him and Alex switch spots just in time to put on a performance. Thank God, because Cooper's entire bar mitzvah was almost ruined. He has like a huge long speech to everybody about turning into a man, and honestly it makes it so much funnier because it seems like a really depressing thing happened, and his girlfriend is very sweet.
His arm.
My wrist is fine, everybody! See? Let's get this party started!
It's gonna be okay.
All around, it's like a very successful episode. I feel like the switch between Alex and Mitchie make it really funny, and the conflict actually matters here, unlike that Great Trip episode, which is just them going on a vacation. I don't even know why that was an episode. But you know what? I'm gonna let it go for now. I like that we had a Cooper-centric episode because he is a really funny character to me. As if the twin thing wasn't interesting enough in episode 6, it also comes back in season 2, episode 7, Uncle Miles. This episode is primarily focused on the kid's dad, and it's a really genuine in that way.
He's great at everything, really. No, there's some things I'm not great at, like, no, you're right. I'm pretty great at most everything. Always been that way, baby.
The whole episode is about the dynamic of brothers, older and younger siblings. The dad is 5 minutes older than Uncle Miles, and we actually get to meet him. And it's cool because they're played by the same actors, but it turns out the brother, Miles, is super successful, a jazz musician, and yeah, he's just better in every way. Meanwhile, Nat and Alex's dad can only do a Daffy Duck impression, which he does multiple times, and the kids love it, which is kind of sweet.
Yeah, my heart goes out to you older brothers. How can you guys compete with us, little bros?
So Alex starts to connect with Uncle Miles and is like, hey, I'm gonna be the better one because I'm the younger brother. And he starts acting like him, like having like an old cigarette-timey voice, and just is convinced that this is his destiny. And he starts changing his outfits. Everything is just so much different about him just so he could mimic this success. This disagreement of brother dynamics ends up becoming the entire center point for the plot. So older brothers and little siblings end up going against each other on separate teams, specifically boys, brothers and younger brothers, with Rosalina and Cooper acting as the hosts. And it's kind of like a questionnaire little beauty pageant they have going on, but it's more just to be extra competitive. The challenges kind of make no sense and are just downright ridiculous, with like breakdancing being one of them, best gymnast. It's just a montage of crazy stuff. I like that it's really competitive and they start turning on each other because it actually like puts them at odds.
I'm just gonna add some more categories. How about biggest, meanest, and best songwriter?
What? Biggest, meanest, best songwriter? That's so unfair, Nat!
Maybe Dad has a younger child somewhere and you can join our team before it's too late.
The contest ends on a tie with a Battle of the Brothers performance coming up. Things take a really intense turn when Alex watches Miles take Betty, which is Sonny's boyfriend, you know, the dad, actually woos her over pretty easily. And I don't know, I don't feel bad because this woman is just a horrible person and like is so disrespectful and is just ready to turn on him completely.
Betty, Sonny's daddy.
Come over here, come with me. I want to show you a little something that we do in Detroit.
I mean, Uncle Miles is not a victim here either. He's definitely rude and disrespectful to Alex's dad. Alex watches the whole thing, and he's kind of stunned by it and feels really bad that his uncle is not a good person and starts to reflect on his competitiveness with Nat. And it becomes really deep, really quick. But it's actually kind of sweet to see them, like, care so much and actually have his actions represent, like, what he wants to change. He actually writes his own song, and honestly, this is one of the better ones in the entire show.
Changing, waiting, changing.
Oh my god, when is Alex such a good writer? So then they go back to the Battle of the Brothers competition, and this is right after Alex promised to Nat that they will not ever fight and they'll be friends forever because it's more important to have brothers connect than be at odds with each other. Nat actually takes this super seriously and purposely flukes the Battle of the Brothers competition.
Guys, maybe if you clap loud enough, they'll actually think that was good.
Yeah! Woo! Okay!
Alex also messes up, and they kind of come to terms with the fact that, like, their uncle is not a good person. Later that night, the dad, Alex, and Nat go to see Uncle Miles play, and right as they're watching him, Betty comes on stage to perform with him. So not only is she cheating on him, but she's cheating on him with their brother. And she says it's because he has more hair, which is kind of stupid because I barely think that. And the dad admits that this is probably a wig. So Alex and Nat take this into their own hands and cause a scene by ripping his wig off.
Give me my hair! Give me my hair! Go back here! I got it!
Oh, Miles, wait! Don't worry! I wear a wig, too!
Betty Fazed by this, though, she takes off her wig and is like, I want to be with you. And you just feel so bad for the dad because he was just betrayed so hard in this situation, and he's like an emotional meltdown with Nat and Alex taking care of him. And it's definitely a sweet, like, kumbaya moment of them all coming together. Nat insists that Alex's song would be better with the dad on the accordion, but really, it's just trying to cheer him up. And honestly, it's a really sweet moment, and I just feel bad for the dad because you know how emotional he is. Like, this is not going away anytime soon, making season 2 a lot more interesting than I initially thought. Episode 8 is concert special number 2, and I can't really get into this because it's just a live recording of them performing. All I can say is it's crazy to think that these guys are actually as talented as they come across on TV. Like, they are genuinely good at their instruments, and I can't believe how good of a performer Nat is at this age. Like, these guys are really good. I feel like the best thing about Naked Brothers Band, even like watching the show, is probably their music. You know, like, they're undeniably very talented, and despite whatever qualms I have about the show or the story structure, like, we can't forget about this. They sing 9 songs, the discography, which include Motormouth, Taxicab, Tall Girls, Short Girls, You, crazy name for a song, Great Trip, Crazy Car, Banana Smoothie, and I'll Do Anything and Run. Which actually brings us to our next episode. Everybody cries at least once. And, you know, I said it before that the poor Rosalina is caught in all the drama of this series. And yeah, this is one that also is like that. This is a very depressing episode about showing the boys right before they leave for tour. A lot of this episode is them figuring out what to take, what to leave, and yeah, it's not that dramatic at first.
Everything reminds me of Betty. Napkins, the dishwasher, toenail clippers.
The part that actually matters in this is that the dad's going through a really rough breakup. Aw, so this is why everybody's crying. He just had Betty leave him for his brother Miles, and that just kind of happened. So he's depressed, and the boys are ready to take their dog Lucky onto tour until they realize their dad is so sad, and I guess he's not going on tour with them, so they're like, let's leave Lucky with him. Very generous of these boys to let their dad take care of their animal. I don't even know what to say here. They actually bring back the shaman again to be in charge of their rehearsals, which is so ridiculous. Like, this guy cannot be productive in their rehearsals.
So, Alex. Many buffalo reap little grass.
Right back at you, buddy.
He just says a bunch of gibberish, and I don't even know who we're making fun of here. Like, I'm not sure if I should be offended or confused. We learn this episode's more about Rosalina when she reveals that her dad is pretty absent in her life, and honestly got married like 3 separate times, and I kind of feel bad for her. Like, everybody is pretty empathetic toward her, which I find really sweet. I like that they're all like caring. Meanwhile, everybody else is just getting ready for the tour.
At least he didn't marry her like my dad always does.
Sure.
Nat and Alex try to cheer up their dad, but you know what? They're just worried that he's gonna be screwed while they're gone. Later, they run into George Lopez, of all people, on the streets, which is, I guess, the only celebrity tied to this show because he was in the first season and now he's back. Like, I don't know why he's necessary for this, but I guess Nickelodeon just liked him at the time.
Let me talk to you, man. Listen. Yeah. You can lick the Betty curse.
And it's kind of sweet because it's like, oh, he's gonna have a friend now, as every breakup needs to get out of it. Meanwhile, everybody's saying goodbye to their parents, and oh my gosh, Kwasam's mom is so funny while she's singing one of their songs. It's so good.
Yeah! Long distance relationships will kill you. Yes!
Everybody but Rosalina has somebody to say goodbye to. Aw, and she's just sitting there hoping he'll show up. And I'm just so depressed at this point. The van is awesome. I'm so jealous they get to travel around in this. And even Jesse's coming. Okay, yeah, they do need a babysitter. I'm glad Jesse's coming. They're saying goodbye for probably like 6-7 minutes. Like, this entire episode just might as well be them setting off on a tour. And yeah, Rosalina's about to cry as her dad does not show up. Except for last minute, when they're about to finally leave, the dad runs on to the bus and says goodbye, which is actually really awesome and good for her that she gets a little moment. And they end up singing the song Everybody's Cried at Least Once, which is very real. Okay, cool. So we're having the Naked Brothers Band head off on tour, and this is a really exciting, like, ramp up to the next episode. Now we got Cleveland. Apparently the band is headed to the Midwest, and we actually get to see how intense these fans actually are. It starts with a little concert performance, and then the boys getting back onto their tour bus. They actually have a security guard, which is like freaking out, and is like, I can't handle all these girls.
Cooper, I can't do this anymore. They got my favorite shirt, man. These girls are crazy. It's too many of them, man. It's too much love, too much love, too much love, man!
And you know what? Like, it is so real and actually makes it a lot more legitimate that these guys are famous. It feels like a stomping ground that they were like practicing with before they got to Big Time Rush, which became like a lot more official version of everything that's going on. And yeah, then we just go to the tour bus. And the girls sneak onto the bus. I can't even believe they did that. The cello player Thomas talks about how he's like jealous of Nat, and he's like, does anybody else get jealous? And it turns out it's just him, and they kind of mock him for it. Then he goes to check in on the boys who are actually doing an interview in the back of the bus, and they're asking him like what it's like to work with Nat, which is so rude.
Maybe they'll want to interview me now that I'm a dancer in the show.
I feel like she's just such a clout chaser, it makes her kind of unlikable. Maybe at this time, people didn't look down on people like that, but like, it looks like she's trying to clout chase their kid's fame. Jesse and Alex start getting into a fight because Alex cuts Jesse off for every answer she gives in the interview, which is kind of disrespectful, honestly.
Probably, but
is your name Katie?
As much as yours is.
We get to another location with the girls starting to tear through Nat, and this time Rosalina's actually getting a little jealous. Thomas is really depressed for most of this episode, and I kind of feel bad because he's just so bitter. Him and Rosalina are just so tired of seeing Nat get all this attention. There's even a point where he's getting his hair ripped out by Cooper just to make it even, and Thomas is just so mad at it. Like, this guy is just too bitter. Kassam and David start trying to sell Nat's hair on tour by stealing it from him at one of the press conferences, and this is going too far. I feel like they're all just like using Nat and then also getting mad at him for the fact that everybody wants to use him. Like, I don't understand why any of this is his fault.
Thomas, you're our absolute favorite in the whole band.
I am?
Yeah, you were so much cuter than Nat.
Yeah. Hear that, Nat? You think you're so hot? Well, these girls think that you're an ugly toad.
We didn't say that!
No, ugly toad it is. Awesome.
It turns out Nat was pulling out his hair to give to fans to pretend to like Thomas and say that they like him better than Nat, which is actually kind of a sweet thing to do. It just shows that Nat genuinely doesn't care about the fans like that. Well, not care about the fans. You guys know what I'm getting at, right? So it ends up in being like a full fight on stage, and honestly, like, he's just trying to do something nice here. So when they get to Cleveland, things actually take a big change where everybody's actually cheering for Thomas, and this is kind of boy who cries wolf because Thomas does not believe this. Like, Nat clearly engineered this, but I don't know, nobody seems to have actually made this happen. So Thomas gets a lot big of a confidence boost.
If he did do it, he's a better friend than you deserve. But if he didn't do it, just for some strange, odd reason, that all these girls, these crazy girls like you in Cleveland, what's up with that?
I didn't realize they had a song called Body I Occupy. It's actually really weird for a title, but hey, the song's not bad, and it kind of feels relevant to this episode. Meanwhile, Alex still isn't talking, so Jesse keeps trying to get him to, but he's doing it for a polite reason. I don't know why Jesse's trying to call him out for it. So yeah, Rosalina and Nat get into another argument because Rosalina's like, you like the attention, and like kind of uses it against him when really he doesn't. I swear he doesn't.
It's annoying that you like it so much.
I don't like it so much.
Later, they learn that maybe the reason Thomas is getting so much love and attention, which, by the way, I don't know why they had to figure it out, is because on that radio show earlier, he said the prettiest girls are from Venus, and I guess they misheard it as Cleveland, as everybody would claim. They can't figure it out, and of course, Alex can't even speak, so they go to point to the solar system, and yeah, I'm confused at that. The moral of the story here is that Thomas learns if you call a girl beautiful, she'll love you, and okay, I guess that's a weird takeaway, but so Nat says it to Rosalina, real smooth Nat, okay.
Tell a girl she's beautiful and she'll love you?
Yeah, man, you didn't know that?
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
and Alex says it to Jesse, which means he talked, and that kind of ends that plot line too. And yeah, they end up having a concert, and Thomas calls out all the boys and is like, girls are prettier, and I guess that's the way it ends. I'm just excited that this was like a really dynamic episode. I've never seen a show about people being like on the tour bus per se, and this does a good job for me. I feel like Nat, though, has gotten the short end of the stick for this episode, despite it like not even being about him. All around like fun experience. So this episode starts out with a voiceover from Tuffy, who is the bodyguard of the Naked Brothers band and the bus driver too. I like this guy so far.
The band wants to have some fun before their concert tonight, so they're inside putting on their disguises right now. Hey, get those cameras off me, man. Get those cameras off me, man. I told you I don't want to add 10 pounds to this.
And he's talking about this Crawfish County Fair that's going on. Cooper is in charge of watching over everybody, but they all have to be in disguises constantly, so that way they're not recognized, which is so funny that why are they doing this in the first place? And we end up even seeing a giant newspaper that says how to recognize the Naked Brothers band in disguise, which is with them in their bunny costumes, so they're pretty screwed right off the bat.
I can't believe everybody's recognizing us in these.
I know, our day at the fair's completely ruined.
Maybe not.
Rosalina notices a rack full of costumes, so they come out to be in the opposite gender, with Rosalina in a general costume with a hat and beard, and the rest of the boys wearing wigs in a dress, which is actually super funny. I love that they like took this approach. Makes David, Thomas, and Kusum all argue about not being in the male outfit. And the band then sits for the accordion camp competition, where Nat and Alex get to see their dad on stage. Okay, but he mistakes them for girls, so he does not even see them.
We're Dad's squeeze box, mister! Oh, come on, dude!
Thank you, girls, thank you!
He totally didn't recognize us.
We see that Jesse is singing karaoke with a bunch of guys, and the band like starts applauding them. Jesse doesn't even realize it's them. It makes David and Kusum happy because Alex is jealous over the other men. The boys huddle up, and Rosalina announces that the disguise work, and Cooper can let the band go explore the fair before the sound check. Ooh, yay! So David, Kusum, and Thomas enter themselves into a greased pig competition, which I didn't even realize still went on, okay? Alex and a blonde girl are watching it happen, and then criticizes the girls for being unladylike, which is kind of disrespectful. Meanwhile, the beauty pageant is in danger of cancellation because there's not enough girls that are participating, so the girls beg Alex to come up and join them. Oh my gosh. Alex starts to form a relationship with her, but like as being a girl, which kind of reminds me of the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody episode. It's definitely been done before, but I like that it's like a Naked Brothers band twist because of it. Nat and Rosaline are seen together, and she decides to ride the robot bull, of course, because she's going through a lot right now, guys. Remember the last couple episodes? They call Rosalina a troublemaker, which is kind of disrespectful, so she complains to Nat about him getting more attention disguised as a girl, but it's quickly offered to go for a second round, so he's getting like the unfair treatment. Then we get their song Tall Girls, Short Girls, You, which I can't tell if that's a compliment over the montage of all the subplots of the episode, and it's actually really funny because Alex is in the beauty pageant, and Sonny gets competitive with his rival, which is cool that he's even like roped into this. Later, Harvey compliments the way Nat chooses food clothes and says a short poem to him.
There was every kind of girl in this world, and then there is you. Ooh, 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 and then there is you.
Harley, you're quoting a Naked Brothers band song.
Nat thinks that Harvey's two-timing him, and he explains that his girlfriend entered the beauty pageant, and this is his opening lyric to I'm Out, which Nat catches him again for quoting his songs. I can't believe this guy is like plagiarizing him. And then Alex ends up winning the beauty pageant, but angry that the other girl didn't win.
What? Are you crazy? She should have won the whole thing! Did you see her twirl that baton? Did you see her wear that bathing suit? Alexa, it's okay.
He says to the audience that he has a dark past, which is so ridiculous, and then gives the crown over to the blonde girl. So that's kind of how it ends with that subplot. Cooper then meets Sonny in the trailer holding a teddy bear. And yeah, everybody just ends up pretty happy at this. This was a successful day. And halfway through the performance, this girl, Emma, recognizes the lyrics from Harvey's poems and thinks that he wrote the song, which actually makes him satisfied. On Paramount Plus, they have something called the County Fair Concert Special, which is actually just them singing the songs. I can't believe they even got away with counting this. It's not even the same thing as the regular concert special. What the heck? And that brings us to our final episode of the season, The Polar Bears. So the two-part season finale is called The Polar Bears, and it actually starts with everybody reading a magazine about the flaws that Nat Wolff has.
Yes! He slurps his soup. I do not.
Yes, you do, Nat.
Yes, you do.
I heard you doing it just a minute ago.
Which is funny because in New Jersey, it's actually illegal to slurp soup. Look it up. I bet you're gonna be wrong. Which this guy is not asking for all this negativity. He's like just singing in the band, and I feel like he is the target for everyone and everything at this point. Jesse is giving everybody on the tour bus etiquette lessons, like with a nice table, which I've never seen done on a tour bus. What a crazy concept. At least she's like being a responsible adult this time, like kind of, and teaches everybody that as long as you say no offense, nobody is going to get offended, which, oh my god, what a 2000s mentality, guys. I didn't realize this was such an environmentally friendly episode, and to be a two-parter, even funnier. So Alex learns that the polar bears are suffering and becomes super fixated on like helping them, which is actually kind of sweet. Nat like suggests they give all their proceeds to the next concert, the environment, to actually make this better for the polar bears, and that's very sweet.
What are you doing? That I need these for my Save the Polar Bears thing.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because I'm recycling them. But we haven't even read them, Alex.
This leads Alex to being super environmental and actually taking everybody's magazines and just recycling things for no reason, which is actually kind of a funny concept. They're still on this city tour, I guess. So they end up meeting up with Sonny, which is kind of cool that he's at the next venue, and Sonny brings their twin, which is crazy because this girl looks nothing alike them, but apparently her and Nat share a lot of commonalities. So she's also a Sagittarius, I assume. They say that their moms knew each other, and that's another hint of lore to drop on us. I didn't realize this was relevant still. There's a little girl named Big L, and she is obsessed with Santa Claus, like making her mom decorate all year long for this, and even has like a full-on tantrum when they try to break it to her that it's only around Christmas. This is low-key me, though.
No, he's coming soon.
Well, we got a little ways to go there, Big L. It's still summertime.
Santa Claus is coming soon! Santa Claus is coming soon!
So Rosalina supposedly gets jealous again, but she's like, me and Nat are just friends. Says it to him, and he's like heartbroken. But it's low-key kind of fair because, yeah, he's hanging out with another girl, and also they've never really properly went on a date. So Nat, unless you're gonna ask her out. So later, Nat and this girl, Grace, are talking about how guys can be just friends, and it's very sweet, actually, until Rosalina walks in, and they start wrestling. I don't know why they wrestle out of nowhere, but it's kind of ridiculous. If I were Rosalina, I'd be really sad. She did say they were just friends, so yeah. Psalm has a crush on Grace, so it looks like it's gonna work out in the long run, but Rosalina's still kind of stressed about it. So Grace and Big L reveal that their house was like taken away a long time ago because of the environment, and it's kind of depressing to think about. And they're like, yeah, it's okay, we live on a trailer like you guys. And it's like, oh no. That explains why she's so obsessed with Santa. This is like almost like a trauma response. What a deep and dark plot to have. I feel so bad for this little girl. And we get a really sad montage of them actually driving through homes that have been destroyed, and oh my god, this is so depressing. I feel so bad, but at least like Alex and Nat are like empowered by these situations to like make a change. I guess that's like the positive part of this episode. This is pretty unique that I've never seen a kids show ever do, like show this kind of destruction and talk about it so positively. They go to Grace's house and they see how she's actually living, but at least these kids learn their manners. They definitely have to.
Betty used to love candlelight dinners.
Come on, Dad.
Now, Sonny, you pull yourself together right this minute.
Yeah, Dad.
So Rosalina is the wing woman for Kasim, trying to get Grace to be into him, which I think Grace has bigger fish to fry right now, Rosalina. Can you just give him a break?
You know, he's a bad boy, real bad, and polite too, kind of a mixture of both. He's everything a girl could wish for.
So Grace starts getting jealous of Qasim and Rosalina, and her and Nat pretty much turn on them, which is fair. They're being really suspicious. It's so funny because Rosalina being the wing woman, Grace just assumes that she has a crush on him, which, oh my god, Nat, I would be heartbroken too. Rosalina tells him to be like a bad boy, and he pinches her butt, which I did not see coming, and you cannot do that on television. That's very disrespectful. Kasim and Nat get into a physical altercation, which I did not see coming, and then Alex starts turning his back on the bus because it's bad for the environment. Oh my god, I did not expect that to be the twist. Alex treats this whole thing like a huge betrayal, which is actually so funny.
I'm gonna go over there, try to tip the bus over, and all the gas should go in that bucket.
For some reason, Nat knows what siphoning is, which I didn't even know. It's like when you pull gas out of a bus, and he's claiming to do that and even wants to tip over the bus. What the heck, Alex? Sonny sees a cricket on his nose one morning and assumes it's Betty, which means he's not over that breakup. Oh my god, this guy's an insane person. The bald publicist comes back again to trash Nat about slurping soup on television, and they're like, he is gonna have some bad manners, which is so funny because it's like a whole benefit event, and that would be offensive, I guess? Grace and Nat wrestle once again, only to be confused by Kasam and Rosalina. Oh my gosh, why does this keep happening? It's kind of crazy we're having like these first world problems, like drama between Nat and Rosalina, while there's all this like wreckage and what's actually going on in the world. I can't tell if it's a metaphor or just really, really bad timing. Cooper tells the crew that they actually oversold the Superdome, so they're gonna make a lot of money for the polar bears. Ooh, that's exciting. Cooper suggests that they do a huge press conference, which was actually the center of conflict in the Battle of the Bands episode, so I hope it goes well this time, honestly.
This is gonna sound really ridiculous.
What? I mean, really, really silly. No, I think she stopped liking me when she saw how bad my table manners were.
Big L and Grace follow them onto the bus, and oh, Alex has a really fire white outfit. I don't know why, it's really cool. So Alex is still refusing to take the bus, so they're like, we're gonna walk to the venue, which is kind of insane. I don't know why anybody's letting them do that. And then Kasim and Rosalina have another moment together, only to make Nat super angry. So Nat is upset about the whole Rosalina situation, gets advice from Alex, who is just like, you guys weren't even together, so technically you didn't steal your girl. Oof, that's kind of tea. So they're doing this whole press conference, and things get way out of hand by like them as a concert being like, we're gonna be bigger than Santa Claus, which I don't know why they're claiming that, but the reporters get really angry at them. I don't even know why they're getting angry. Like nobody cares that much about any of this stuff.
Picture, he means our picture on that calendar. Only because it's August, I mean by December, Santa's gonna be way bigger. Santa's gonna be huge by December.
Are you now insulting Santa's weight?
Are you calling Santa a big fatty, a big tub of lard?
I'm not calling him a big tub of lard.
You called Santa a big fat blubber belly?
I'm not saying that Santa's a big fat blubber belly.
So now instead of being chased by a bunch of girls, they're being chased by reporters. But honestly, this is like one of the funniest scenes in the entire series. I can't believe they even like have this conversation. The reporters are really funny actors. Jessie is relying on her manner skills to stop all the publicists who show up at Anita's trailer, which is so surprising. I guess they just assume they're gonna stop all the drama from going down. And it seems like they're all trying to cancel the Naked Brothers band for hating Santa, which I can't believe canceling was even happening back then, but yeah, this is definitely a reason.
Look, I like
That's
Alex.
George Lopez. He'll say something nice
He's a
about
friend
you.
of mine. But my daughter Mayan is burning his CDs as we speak.
George Lopez has to make yet another appearance, which is super surprising, and he speaks out against Alex, which actually kind of hurts. Yeah, so they're all like calling him a Santa basher. Was not expecting this turnaround. And George Lopez mentions his daughter Mayan too, which is his real daughter in real life. Crazy. The little girl Big L ends up turning her back on Alex too because of the Santa situation, which I was not expecting. And yeah, so this gets really ugly really fast. But it's a funny argument.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Oh, I'm not a liar, liar, pants on fire.
You don't love Santa. You lied, your pants on fire.
I didn't pants on fire.
The curse of Santa is upon you.
Then they have another really depressing song montage of Alex being sad, and it seems like he's dying and drinking himself to death because he drinks a bunch of milk, and it's like, what the heck is this supposed to represent? It's not till like the very last minute of this whole special that Grace overhears Kasim talking to Big L and learns that this was all a huge miscommunication. And this is the scene where the whole thing ends. I don't think we got a resolution to Rosalina at all. I don't know. This has to be like a glitch because there's no credits, there's nothing. It's just a 54-minute episode, and I don't know what's going on. Okay, so yeah, I did some reporting, and it looks like this is completely cut short. This is supposed to be an hour and 8 minutes, so 12 of the minutes were actually cut out of the Paramount Plus release. What is going on with this, guys? Yeah, so they end up finally making up Rosalina, Psalm, and Grace, and then they have this super cool charity dinner.
All he wanted to do was tell you that he was giving all his money to save the polar bears' homes. The polar bears are Santa's neighbors. Santa loves them, and he loves Alex too.
Which actually has them all in tuxedos, and it's finally bringing the manners stuff to light, which is kind of cool. So they perform for the final group of people, and then they get cut off. Apparently, they're not even allowed to.
There is no music in the Grand Ballroom after 2300 hours.
But our concert was canceled and we came all this way to play music for the people of New Orleans.
The band ends their world tour on a super positive note with actually raising a lot of money for the polar bears, and everybody's celebrating Santa Claus for some odd reason. I mean, I guess there's a connection between polar bears and Santa Claus, but I don't know, I'm just losing a lot of this metaphor, honestly. But then the final song of this special, it makes it so much more exciting because it feels like a full movie, like the way they conclude everything. And even though we had a lot of drama, a lot of environmental issues, like it all came back to a full circle moment, and I really like that. I really like that this was a formal ending, and I could always remember the commercials for this. I never quite knew what this Polar Bear special was about, but looking back on it, yeah, it was definitely a fun time talking about a lot of interesting things. I don't feel super resolved about everything, but you know what? That's what the third season's for, isn't it, everybody? The whole special was come up with by the siblings' mother, Polly Draper, who, you know, the series creator and showrunner, directed this too, and she said it's because Nat and Alex genuinely had a realization moment after they watched the movie An Inconvenient Truth, and even Alex started refusing to take baths, and it's just ridiculous. So then they ended up turning this into the movie to get kids to recycle and think about polar bears and the environment, which is why it's cool that they actually filmed in New Orleans, Louisiana, where the boy's father, Michael Wolff, was born. And a scene in the film even has Alex saying, "We're bigger than Santa Claus," which lampoons John Lennon's comment about the Beatles being more popular than Jesus, which is kind of a crazy claim. Poor Rosalina is the last thing I'm gonna say, because she is the one that's truly gypped throughout the Naked Brothers series, and specifically this season, honestly. So, until next time, everybody, thank you so much for jumping into the second season of Naked Brothers Band with me, and I will see you guys next time.